Hello guys, today we are going to be talking about a Twitter account. Now, I know this Twitter account belongs to an infamous guy, and I know a lot of people know Richard from all of his other cringy shit throughout history. Maybe one day I'll go and look at that, but today we're just going to be looking at this Twitter account. His Twitter account is called Rich Monk. I thought it was actually Rick Monk, but I guess it's Rich Monk. So, we're gonna be looking at this. We're gonna be laughing at these posts, and we're just gonna have fun today. I just want to have a nice, fun stream. So, Rick has his own little OC, and that's what we're gonna be talking about. Rick thinks that he is in a relationship with Sally Acorn. Now, that's one thing we have to really note here, is that Rick believes that he's in a relationship with Sally Acorn, and he RPs about it a lot. So let's just scroll through this and see if we can find some gold. We're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna have fun looking at this and laughing at this. Okay, is there anything... wait, I think this is a whole thread. Let me start at the beginning. I realize this post was made in 2010, and how opinions change over time, but considering Flynn's recent perspective on this whole statement comes off as either flip-flopping or hypocritical. Let's discuss this, shall we? Tips Fedora. And I guess the photo says, despite all of her abilities, she remains modest, probably because of her rustic life in Knothole under the threat of Robotnik. Sally has always had the potential of her current greatness. Who fucking cares? It's just praising Sally Acorn, a fictional character. And then he says, Sally is truly remarkable. Oh, he fucking says that? Yet you make an AMA that Amy is better. Who fucking cares who's better, Sally or Amy? Come on. She's got the whole beautiful princess thing going. Then 2 years later, you brutally mutilate her in the pre-reboot and made her into a fat, ugly... Wait, it made her fat and ugly in the reboot. So what he's talking about here is, in the pre-reboot, she gets roboticized, which is not a new thing. Sally had been roboticized before, and no one fucking complained. But I guess because she got roboticized and then that universe got canceled, people got really pissed about it. I don't see why it fucking matters. And then apparently he doesn't like the redesign of Sally, even though Sally looks practically identical in the reboot, just slightly different with yoga pants now. That's really it. Is there anything to not love about her? Well, you pretty much stripped her of all those traits you were praising her for in the reboot by making her a bumbling idiot. She wasn't a bumbling idiot. She wasn't exactly the same personality-wise, but she was almost the same. Yeah, I can't take you or IDW seriously. Now, just know, he said he can't take IDW seriously. That's something he actually fucking said. So let's keep scrolling. Me, hey Sally, does your mom have a chipmunk stripe? Sally, I don't know. Me, it's a mystery we need to solve. Sally, oh I get it, 'cause I don't have one, right? And then another fucking RP thing. It's really nice of Mina to give us free tickets to backstage passes to her shows, Sally. Well, she owes me big. Me. The Nicole incident? Yes. And he's referencing something that happened in the comics where fucking Mina thought Nicole was possibly a menace and was being very mean to her. Apparently this guy is still caring about that. Years later. Let me see if I can find anything else. After I get bored reading his post, we'll go to his photos. Yeah, I think I'll just go to his photos. Okay, here we go. Me, Sally, don't move. Sally stops moving. There's a spider dangling over your head, looks up for a couple seconds and chomps on it. She ate the fucking spider. He says, what the You just ate the spider? She says, delicious. Totally in character for Sally. Sally's always been known for eating random bugs. Complains about a character not being in character, then writes the character out of character, but whatever. Sally, Richie, where were you when the brains were handed out? Ooh, oh, that's a reference to the cartoon. What the? She says, he. That scared the fuck out of me. Why would you whisper that in my ear while I'm sleeping, Sally? Just messing with you, chitter, chitter, chitter. That's fucking weird. Sally, I want a collar. Me. Are you a kinkster now? Kinkster? Is that what we call people who are in the kinks? Kinksters? Sally, of course I am, but I just think it would be cute. Oh, that's totally in character. Sally being a kinky bitch. Me, your name in gold fancy lettering on it, a little acorn bell dangling from it. Sally, yes, it can just say princess on it. Cause that's totally in character for Sally. Strong independent woman, wants to be a sub. Very in character. He posted this pic of her and put it perfect girl. No, I want the media. I don't want the tweets and replies. I want the media, because this is where you get the best shit. Happy 1 year anniversary to my special chipmunk girl. Hard to believe we've been together that long. So he considers himself to be in a relationship with her for over a year. That's how he sees things in his delusional state. He actually sees himself to be in a relationship with Sally Acorn. Oh god. Let's keep scrolling. I want to find the good ones. There's only so many layers to this. It's hilariously engaging. So him fucking drinking alcohol, looking depressed as ever. Like a rainbow of comfort, and he shows off a bunch of fucking diapers. Dear God. Yes, he is into diapers. He is into wearing diapers. These are his custom-made Sally and Bunny figures. Right there. I don't know how much he paid to get those, but he has custom Sally and Bunny figurines. Oh God. Let me keep scrolling. I wanna only look at the good shit, and I will scroll if I have to find it. Still primal, and it's a photo of Sally bending over. I'm gonna scroll before I get flagged down for showing that. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, Simba, and that's not even Simba, that's off-brand Simba, but whatever. Whatever, you're making jokes about shitting in a diaper. Wow, hard to believe I spent an entire year on that Sally and Richie roleplay. You're still doing it. I certainly had fun writing these and slice of life tales about our relationship, and more could be in the pipeline. Overall, I just wanted to give Sally Acorn a well-deserved ending. Hope you guys enjoyed it. He's still doing it, so I don't know why he fucking said that. Well, Sally, it's our 1 year anniversary as a couple. You've grown for the better ever since we met. I'm glad that I was able to pull you out of your dark corner and give you the life you deserve. Oh yeah, because that's totally in character. She would want to be with a nerdy fucking loser that shits in diapers, and he rewrites her later. So she's fine with the diaper thing, but you'll just have to wait for that. You'll just have to wait till I show you that. You truly are a special monk, even though you fart in bed. I guess that's canon in his universe now. Ian Flynn, you're a fucking hack. Make Sally Acorn fart in bed. That's the only way she could be in canon. I really hate quoting 4chan, but this post is pretty accurate to what I'm describing. I don't even want to fucking read it. I don't even want to fucking read that. Same. I feel like shit, and it's just a photo of Sally, okay. Preach, princess, and she's saying, hey guys, wanted to let you know that Archie Comics is still better than IDW, that's all, because brand loyalty is what really matters in this world. And if you like the Archie comics, just read Archie online. You don't have to constantly shit on IDW just because you're upset that Archie is dead. God. I'm so proud of her. And it says Sally got a Chaos Emerald. It's a fucking Sally Acorn mod in Sonic Mania. And then this fucking art, because he really doesn't like fucking Tangle. He's one of the crazy people that thinks that Tangle is a replacement Sally Acorn. So he doesn't like Tangle. He'll constantly try to humiliate Tangle whenever he can, because he doesn't like her. He sees her as Ian Flynn's replacement for Sally. So she's like, how are things? And then everyone's just giving her fucking stank eye, because no one fucking likes her in his universe. God. As Sally Acorn wins, she sure does. God. Let's just keep scrolling. Coming home from a hard day to this. I think it's gonna be a harder day after you've seen that. Oh, God. I'm gonna keep scrolling until I find something good. We'll find some good shit, don't worry. Don't worry. Part 2 of Sally and the Knife. Also just realized she's left-handed. Wow, you've known this character for so long. Okay. Let me get this straight. Tangle and Whisper were introduced 1 year into IDW publishing comics, and Sega gets to make endorsed merchandise? Meanwhile, Archie Comics, freedom fighters, who've been around for 25 years, has never had any merch besides out of Australia. Any long-time Sonic fans finding this insulting? I'm sure a lot of people do. I'm sure you got fucking Alex Hedgefox in your comment section supporting that. Let me see it. If I scroll and immediately see Alex Hedgefox, yeah, thank you, Alex. Thank you. I knew I'd see you there. We're still friends, buddy. Don't worry. I just knew that you'd be supporting that fucking madman. Me. Why, Sally, your chipmunkness is showing more than usual, and it's turning me on, winky face. Sally, chitter, chitter, chitter. Because apparently that's a cute thing to do, is weirdly chittering. God. Vector, very special delivery, princess. Vector, you're in ABDL too? Vector, what's ABDL? And it's Vector in a diaper, delivering diapers to Sally Acorn. That's right, Sally Acorn loves diapers, and you better get that fact right, IDW. This is why you fail. And apparently this is his nursery. This is the nursery that he's making in his house. Now, I know there's more shit about his nursery on his fucking Encyclopedia Dramatica and Kiwi Farms, but we're only looking at his Twitter today. So we could see Dragon Tales, Baby Looney Tunes, My Little Pony, because of course My Little Pony, his own OCs, just a bunch of shit everywhere. I have him on my wall. I don't know what that fucking means. Oh, it's a response to someone. Oh, okay, Sylvester. Someone wearing a Sylvester diaper, and he's telling him he has that design on his wall. And you'll be seeing this man in diapers soon enough. Just wait. Yep, my apartment is an ABDL nursery, and I'm finally ready to share it to the world. It's been my lifestyle for many years, and it's time for this baby fur chipmunk artist to come out into the open. Everyone already knows that about you if they've seen your other shit online. God, perfect. But seriously, this was fun edit with Rafa's asset. So he edited Sally into the Sonic movie teaser thing, because that's what we need. And here's his art of Sally Acorn and his character in diapers. And weirdly enough, she's playing with a Sonic doll, even though she's supposed to be in a relationship with him. Yeah, apparently that's where IDW's been fucking up. They don't put Sally Acorn in a diaper, like Rich wants her to be in. The ABDL Sally trilogy that Artie Canvas did for me. And let's take a look at some of this great artwork. Oh God. That face makes me die a little inside. And then we have Sally shit in her diaper at the park, and they're obviously teenagers, and other diaper wearing fucking babies are noticing and making fun of her, and she's crying over it. That's the type of shit that needs to be an IDW. That's right, ABU diapers. I am a diaper chipmunk that loves your products for over 12 years. Hashtag ABDL. Sally loves them too. And this is a photo of him wearing a diaper in his apartment. I pray to God no one can see him through those blinds, or else they'd be truly terrified at this grown man wearing a Sally Acorn shirt and fucking chipmunk headband in a diaper. Oh, God. And this is him fucking spreading with his diapers on. You can see all this fucking kids merchandise surrounding him. $2 from dark chocolate, thank you. I'll take that. I'll take a rain check on that one. I don't blame you. I don't fucking blame you. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat. It's appreciated. Well, look how cute you are here. Oh, God. Behold, where the creativity and magic happens. You don't want to know what magic happens here. He even puts diapers on his fucking dolls. He puts diapers on the dolls. Oh, God. And there's his computer, probably where he goes on to rant at internet trolls. This is the lair of a man baby. Him making fun of Tangle yet again. Wow, that has to be from over 10 years ago, and it's a drawing of Sally Acorn in a fucking diaper, and her bib says princess. This is the shit that he wants. Oh, here's an old one, ABDL baby fur. Baby furs need more rodent representation. Cause that's what we need. We need representation of chipmunks in the diaper community. God. Me, if you prefer Reboot Sally, that's fine. I just prefer the real Sally. So yeah, that other Sally, not the real one. She's a faker. It's all fraud to me. The one with intelligence, personality, and adorable yet distinctive frame. That's something I argue about. I argue about this to people. Like, they say that Sally was given pants so she'd be less sexualized. But I think the yoga pants sexualized Sally more. Because before she was just a fucking cartoon character chipmunk. But now she's like a humanoid looking chipmunk thing that wears tight yoga pants that hugs onto her legs and a tight yoga shirt. I think that makes her more sexualized, not less. But whatever. And then he has Sally fucking say, LOL, what a stupid, ugly imposter, even though they look practically identical, but whatever. Ah, fucking hell. Let's see if I can find any more good ones. A thirstybottle.net graphic design. So apparently, can you actually get this? Design services? Can you actually... Oh, just for fun. I thought he was going to be selling his own merchandise for a second there. I was going to laugh my ass off. I might buy some of his shit. I might buy some of his shit just to fucking do the part 2 video, which I will. I will do a part 2 video inevitably. And he says, yep, we're canon. And it shows him and Sally kissing on the cover with Sonic incredibly upset. And apparently that's what he really wanted for IDW issue 1. Nobody OC making out with a character from a different continuity. That's what he wanted in fucking IDW. And this is why I don't like a lot of the fucking anti-IDW people. Because what they want from the comics is fucking retarded. Like, I wouldn't want these people running the comics just as much as I don't like Ian Flynn being in charge of the comics. Like, I think it's a lose-lose scenario for the fans either way. And he's like, today, we celebrate our independence from Mobian tyranny and for winning the first Robotnik War. Because, you know, he was totally involved in that. IDW itself is shitposting, but go nuts. And that's just a fucking line from the comic book. Let's keep scrolling and see if we can find some more good stuff. If we can find a few more good things. Oh no. Oh no, not the feet shit. Why is it always foot fetish? Every fucking time. Fucking foot fetish shit. And then we got some, that's a background from the actual Sad AM show. And then, art asset that was drawn by someone else. And then his fucking character getting googly eye over her. God. And this is just June. This is just up to June. This isn't even like the full shit this guy has going on. There's so much more. There's so much more shit. Let me see if I can find some more good ones. He has a Sally tier ranking. He has a tier ranking for Sallys. So Reboot Sally is an F, even though she doesn't look too much different than any other Sally. Fucking original Sally from the fucking from the pilot of Sad AM gets a C. There is no B. Fucking comic book Sally with her more detailed art design, that's an A, even though it actually looks better. Less detailed Sally and cartoon Sally gets an S. So that's his tier ranking for Sally Acorns. I don't know. I think I might be reaching the end of this. I don't know if we're getting any more good stuff. I don't think we're getting any more good posts. Maybe we'll find something about him bitching about Tangle if I go down far enough. Okay. So he actually did a comparison here. This is the comparison between the reboot and pre-reboot Sally. They really don't look too different. If anything, I'd say the post-reboot is just a little bit more simplified. That's really it. But he thinks it's a great travesty that they're so fucking different. But you can still tell it's Sally. Like, looking at this character, you can still tell that's Sally. He even has made a... No, that wasn't made by him. That Genesis box art, that was actually made for the Sally and Sonic 1 game. He just was reposting it. You can actually buy that on, like, Etsy. This is Ricky Chip, a 17-year-old chipmunk citizen living in Mobotropolis post-Robotnik War, who aspires to be a freedom fighter. Okay, here we go. I want to give a shout out to Artie Canvas. There's a couple of drawings. Okay, these are some drawings that person did for him. We have him and Sally in bed with their feet showing because, of course, foot fetish. We have Sally giving him a giant nut. And then we have him meeting Sally's family, which I hope I find that post soon, because that was actually one of the funnier ones where he's talking about time to meet the parents. That was just fucking hilarious. Let me see if I can find that. Gonna keep scrolling till we find the good shit. Oh, okay. Don't believe him, Chippy. And it's a meme. It's a meme made from the Sonic movie, and it's Sonic saying, "Please love me, Sally. I can change." And he's saying, "Don't do it. Stay with me in our relationship where we wear diapers, please." God. And of course he'd be in the not Baby Looney Tunes. Of course he'd be in the fucking Tiny Toons characters. Fucking 90s furries. Furries from the 90s. Always the same. It's a tale that never really deviates when you hear someone saying, "Yeah, I became a furry in the 90s." It's always the same fucking story. You find so many of these cringy fucks online. It's a stereotype. Okay. Me, Sally. No more sex, okay? Hashtag sex strike. Sally, he, me. Sally, I mean it. None. Dunzo. Sally, chitter. Why does he fucking do that? That's never been a Sally thing. Like, he's acting like that's a fucking thing that Sally's always done. Me, oh my, strike's over. So apparently if you want to get this man turned on, just fucking go up to him and go chitter. What the fuck? Sally, Acorn, and Colleen Ballinger talk worst sexual encounters. That's a stupid fucking meme. I don't even like that. That's a bad meme. Let's keep scrolling and see if we can find any more good shit. Oh, him complaining about the Sonic movie? Well, I did it. I lived long enough to watch a Sonic movie trailer hit theaters. It may not have been what I envisioned as a kid, but being there in a packed room of gamer nerds laughing and being obnoxious made the experience magical. What a glorious turd this will be. That's him shitting on the Sonic movie. Which it probably is gonna be shit, to be fair. Okay, let me see if I can find the ones where he was talking about meeting her parents, and then we'll wrap this up. Oh wait. Oh no! Well, this is just awful. Guess we'll have to super genocide. Yeah, fucking fan art. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I get it. I want to find the fucking shit where he was talking about meeting her parents and stuff. That was actually really funny. I'm just gonna have auto scroll. Auto scroll. We're gonna find this. I think I won't find this. That's sad. Oh, that's terrible. Oh fuck, what is that? Cool. Just leave them in the middle of the hallway like that. Thanks. He bought blue rain boots and a fucking jacket. I swear, he is just a couple steps away from being that fucking weirdo who made a Sally sex doll. If he's not that guy already. Fuck. Hey kids, stay tuned for some more wacky antics, drawings involving that crazy chipmunk in me. Who knows, perhaps a certain lemur might meet up with us, and that did happen, and you guys made fun of her. I don't think I'm gonna find it. I don't think I'm gonna fucking find it. Oh wait, here we go. Ha ha ha, how could he be so selfish? Ha ha ha, yeah, fucking talking about that Sally moment in the comics everyone gets pissy about. Reposting a porn artist. I want to find that fucking artwork. Where the hell is it? I'm so sad. I'm so sad that I can't fucking find this. I need to be more prepared for these streams. But I guess I won't find it. I'm getting kind of bored anyway. So I'll probably end this in a minute if I don't find it like immediately before I end this. Nah, I guess I won't find it. Tragedy. It's a real tragedy that I can't find his terrible fucking shitpost. Oh well, I'll just describe it to you. Like, it was a drawing of him and her, and he was meeting the parents, and he's like, it was so good meeting your parents, Sally. And I'm like, oh god, this is fucking terrible. Why did you do this? Why do you make this shit? And just a bit of a reminder before we end this stream, just a bit of a reminder that this guy is actually infamous already. He is already an infamous lolcow in the Sonic community. And I will talk about him. I will talk about him in depth one day. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are covering Richard Kuta yet again, and I have another funny story for us to look at. Now, I had originally planned on doing a Chris Chan video today. I had all of it set up, I had all the Chris Chan stuff ready, but then, yesterday, when I did my new Richard Kuta video, I had a bunch of people get mad in my comments section, I had a bunch of people blow up my Twitter, I had a bunch of people complain to me that I wasn't being fair, I had people flag my Twitter, and now my Twitter is locked for 11 hours. I had a lot of shit go down. I even got banned from a server or two. So, I say yesterday was successful. I think yesterday was pretty funny. The fact that so many people were offended for Richard Kuta of all people, that they would ostracize me, and that they would feel the need to defend this man who wears diapers and yells at people over the color of Sonic's eyes. So we're going to do another Kuta video today, and a lot of people were wondering, why am I doing this? Why am I attacking Kuta? I'm not attacking him, I'm just covering him because it's funny. I'm covering him because it makes other people angry, and I'm covering him because he's fucking entertaining to me. It's the same reason why I covered Chris Chan before this. It's because I find Richard Kuta actually interesting. I like hearing his weird stories. I like seeing him do strange things. It's going to continue being interesting for me, and the more you provoke me, the more interesting it gets, to be honest. So let's look at this story today. Yet again, another great one from Richard Kuta. This is Richard Kuta talking about how he got in trouble for bootlegging Sonic SatAM. So let's see what is going on here. SatAM bootlegging incident of 2002. Now this sounds like it's a fucking case study. Not even that it's like a real life story. Some remember this event as the initial spark of my questionable behavior. Wow, even he acknowledged it. Back in 2000, I joined a SatAM fan site called Fans United for SatAM, or FUSS. I don't see what the fuss is about it myself. Ha ha ha. It was a community fully dedicated to preserving the cartoon series by posting fanfiction, fan art, and even lost artifacts from the creators themselves. At the time, SatAM only had a few limited video release on VHS. That only covered 4 episodes in the late 90s. Digital rips of certain series became available, but with a few stipulations. The quality was choppy and encoded using Real Player. Oh dear God, you're making me feel ancient. But even more frustrating, the episodes were recorded from the USA Network, who were notorious for butchering their shows. So unless you recorded every episode of SatAM from its original airing on ABC, you had no way of watching the complete series in its unedited, high-quality glory. Fortunately, I was one of those individuals. Around 2001, there were debates on FUS message boards about uploading unedited, high-quality VHS rips to the site for SatAM fans to enjoy. I remember spending months arguing with the admin of the site how I wouldn't mind allocating the time in ripping my own episodes, but I kept getting shot down due to petty legality reasons. That's not petty, that's straight up you wanting to commit a crime and the guy who runs a site trying to help your dumb ass. That's not petty at all. He's looking out for you, because doing this is illegal and can get him in trouble and can get you in trouble. This is a big crime. You can't just rip people's shit and upload it on websites. That's not how fucking copyright works. For some delusional reason, yeah, I don't think you can call anyone delusional, the admin assumed that posting bootleg episodes is stealing money from Ben Hurst. It's not necessarily stealing money from Ben Hurst, but it is stealing money from Deke, who owned it at the time, and it's stealing money from the networks who pay to air it, and it's stealing money from anybody who is still collecting royalties off of it. And you're such a child that you can't realize that that's what you were doing. But I can't really blame you, because when you're entitled like yourself, you don't really care. Who later revealed that he never saw a dime from resales of the official VHS releases. I mean, that's typical. That's typical in that media. I am going to refer to this person as the admin, since she was at the time. So considering the stubborn ignorance I was constantly dealing with, I surprised the admin, along with the other FUS members, with the collection of AVI SatAM episodes I spent weeks encoding. While everyone was impressed with the quality and ability to view all the episodes unaltered, the admin threw a major bitch fit. Yeah, because they told you not to do something, and you did it anyway. Wow, what a new concept when the admin of a site tells you not to do something, and then you do it. Chances are you're gonna get in trouble. At me and told me she didn't want her site associated with criminal activity. Very fair, because that is what you're doing. You are doing criminal activities by bootlegging. You wouldn't steal a car, so you wouldn't steal a movie either, Richard Kuta. Learn that lesson. For those who were not old enough to remember the early 2000s, it was a time when P2P software became common ground. Napster, BearShare, Kazaa. People were file sharing and everyone was aware of this. Yes, and it was illegal, and almost like most of those sites got shut down or heavily fucking stripped. They got in real trouble. So really, the rest of FUS didn't see any issue with my intentions. File sharing to me was providing a product to those who didn't have legal access to it. I thought of myself as a digital Robin Hood, because you're a retard, where I was generously giving away these rare recordings that nobody had access to. Of course, you're always the hero in your story. It was clear I wasn't going to solidify an agreement with the admin, so I took matters into my own hands and suggested from the other FUS members, I started my own site in 2002. It would be the only site where any SatAM Sonic fan can download my collection of SatAM episodes for free. But it didn't stop there. If other Sonic cartoons weren't fully available, then why not encode and upload my other VHS tapes full of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Underground? See, you're going down that slippery slope that politicians argued about for a long time. You're proving them right. I'd be a hero by allowing desperate Sonic fans to watch their favorite shows, uncut in high-quality AVI format. Oh, how times have changed. The site, of course, didn't last long since the admin at FUS took notice and reported me to Deke Productions of my activity. Yeah, that's literally how it's worded. I don't get why the fuck it's worded like that. I received a cease and desist letter and everything shortly after the site was shut down. Oh wow, you actually committed a crime and you actually had to be punished for it. What a shock. I received a private message from the admin at FUS. She admitted to being the whistleblower of my operation, selfishly denying the other Sonic... See, everyone's evil to Richard Kuta, even though he's the one breaking the law. Even though he's the one breaking the law, she's the bad guy for reporting him of the rare opportunity I was providing. No matter how many times I tried to reason with her, she constantly spout her ignorance, ignorance of the law, and even threatened to get me arrested. In avoidance, I complied, but it resulted in my first banning from FUS. To this day, I still believe I was in the right. That's Richard Kuta's mindset to a fucking T. Put that on his tombstone. That is going to hold true to the end of time. Before the initial DVDs were even a thing, the shitty ones with Inspector Gadget in the menu, I wanted to be a compassionate fan that wanted to share his bounty with everyone. But someone had to be so salty about it for the most asinine reason, to ruin it for an entire community. And because of this misconstrued scuffle, the admin started spreading lies about me to other Sonic sites, giving the other Sonic fans this negative impression of me when they didn't even know my side of the story. You have a lot more than just that riding on you. You have so much negative baggage. That is only the fucking tip of the iceberg, Kuta. That is only the beginning of the negative shit people know about you. And FUS members, various Sonic fan sites, encouraged me to start a site. They wanted my unedited SatAM episodes. So excuse me for being generous and wanting to contribute to the fan base. But that was only the beginning of what would happen a couple years later. Though the happy irony of all this is that FUS ended up being one of those responsible for the 2007 DVD box set release, published May 2nd, 2020. So he fucking sees an irony in that, when I see it as they wanted to get something done legally, and they went the legal route and got it done. Richard Kuta is an entitled man-baby who decided to do it himself and break the law because he couldn't wait. He couldn't actually go through the process needed to get something done. So instead he took matters into his own hands and became a criminal to share these rips with everyone. Now, I don't really care that he did this. People have done this for decades. But I just find it weird how he justifies himself. How he is some type of Christ figure for giving a rip of a fucking VHS to people. I find it funny how he compares himself to Robin Hood over this behavior, when in reality, he's just your typical bootlegger. He isn't anything impressive. He isn't anything to scoff at. He isn't anything to fucking praise. He's just a loser on the internet, sharing children's cartoons to other losers on the internet. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing a Richard Kuta related stream. It has been a bit since I've done any content on Richard Kuta, but I've always wanted to do more content on Richard Kuta. I've saved a couple of his rants on Google Docs, and I'm going to be going over them for a few episodes, because I just really want to steer away from Chris Chan right now. Chris Chan is locked up behind bars and is going to be for quite a bit, so he's not going to have any new and interesting news. I still plan on doing the Captain's Log videos, but for Sonic and Sandy, I need something new to talk about regularly. So I think Richard Kuta could be a fine addition to that. If you guys like the Richard Kuta content, tell me, and I'll continue to do more of it. I have plenty of these rants ready to read. Our first video is going to be about how Richard Kuta got angry about Tangle the Lemur, being added into a Sonic mobile game. And now, some background lore that you need to know is that Tangle the Lemur and Whisper the Wolf are new characters in the IDW Sonic comics. And Richard Kuta is obsessed with the old American comics, that being the Archie comics. And because these two characters are getting love and attention from Sega, that makes him very angry. So now, since you're all caught up on that, let's read his rant. Tangle and Whisper in the games. My thoughts. My phone blew up this morning with tons of people messaging me that Tangle and Whisper were announced as playable characters in Sonic Dash and various mobile games. I read a lot of posts from older Sonic fans stating their elation and celebrating this event. Yes, because whenever any character from any other form of Sonic media gets represented in the games, it should be celebrated, because this is a rare thing that has hardly ever happened, and you shouldn't be salty about it. I'm honestly perplexed by this attitude, because honestly, I felt a sadness that cut so deep, where it reminded me why I've always been bitter towards Sega. Yes, this is the way to take it, Kuta. This is definitely the healthiest way to view a cartoon hedgehog franchise. I seriously don't know why Archie fans are so complacent. Wow, yeah, fight against the system, stand up against the man. You tell them how you want your game featuring a blue hedgehog to be. About this, because I'm seriously outraged. Go protest. I want to see this. This could be your blue arms. The constant abuse. I want to know what abuse is. How does Sega abuse you? I want to hear about that. And negligence of the SatAM/Archie freedom fighters for nearly 25 years, like myself, have been pleading and demanding to get those characters in the games. Well, here's the thing. There has to be enough people demanding it. Sega has to know that the demand is there. And then, once that's met, they can start trying to add stuff in. But unfortunately, I've seen your petitions. They never really blew up. I don't even think you got petitions past 100,000 fucking signatures. I don't think there is enough people demanding for the Archie characters to be represented, and if they are, they're not making it clear enough. So yeah, and Rally for Sally stems from this post. So Rally for Sally was his cry after the neglect from Sega. So it just shows that even afterwards, they couldn't get enough support with Rally for Sally to even get Sally into the games. So obviously there's not enough people. There's not as many people that were wanting Tangle and Whisper, or else Sega would have noticed. IDW has only been around for 2 years, yet these newbie characters, he is using the premiere date of the character to talk about their legitimacy in the franchise, which is not very fair, because there are a lot of new characters that have been represented, but yet I don't see a
rant about Zavok have been receiving more attention than Sally and co ever have. Not only getting licensed merch, yeah, they're apparently getting a plushie, and that's not good to him, even though Sally got a plushie, but getting canonized as game characters. Now, you see, the Sonic mobile games are not canon. The Sonic mobile games had movie Sonic in it. It had Longclaw in it. There are non-canon characters in the games. There are characters that didn't even appear in any form of Sonic media that are just put in there for fun. Like Android Sonic. Pac-Man. Like, come on. Don't consider the mobile games canon. I don't know about you, but this feels like a giant middle finger to Archie fans. Yes, you're always the victim and everyone's out to get you. That's definitely not a terrible mindset. It proves that Sega never cared about the freedom fighters or the fans who have supported the characters since 1993. They've never cared about the freedom fighters, they've only cared about Sonic. The freedom fighters were made as an extension to Sonic and were only used in America and fucking Australia. Now, I know some countries did also use a version of the freedom fighters, but it wasn't the same fucking freedom fighters. The Archie freedom fighters were specifically an American thing. Like, none of the other characters besides Sally even transitioned worldwide. And if they were, it was just because that country happened to either import Archie or import SatAM. They were only relevant in America. It's not fair to expect Sega to use these characters they didn't come up with. And I'm talking about Sega of Japan when I say Sega, because Sega of Japan didn't even really want to adopt the concepts that the American continuity was coming up with. That's just not right for you to tell them that they have to adopt it because you're upset. It proves that Sega never cared about the freedom fighters or these characters that have been around since 1993. Oh, by the way, to twist the knife in further because you are the victim, Richard Kuta, Sega has the audacity to call these characters freedom fighters. Fuck you! Yes, he is this personally offended because they called two fucking characters freedom fighters. Because if it isn't Sally Acorn, you better not call them a freedom fighter. Even though the freedom fighter term has been used in other fucking countries, like Fleetway's Sonic the Comic. They were also called the freedom fighters. But I didn't hear you bitch about that. Sonic Forces also called their group the Freedom Fighters, or the Resistance, or whatever. And I didn't hear you bitch about that. But whatever. These characters personally offend you because you think they're ripoffs. There's been so much IDW dick sucking since the inception of this new comic, to where Archie has gradually been phased out of existence. No, you know why Archie's been phased out of existence, and it's because of people like Ken Penders, who fucked over the integrity of Archie and got the license pulled from them. It was because Archie decided to focus more on Archie comics than other licensed properties that they had. They gave up almost all their licenses. So no, it wasn't Sega's fault. It was fucking Archie's fault. It was Ken Pender's fault. It was fucking Life's fault. It's not just Sega to blame. A lot of things went into Archie being phased out. Mainly the Ken Pender's lawsuit, though. Sega pulling the shit they just did has effectively alienated the fanbase even more. Prove it. Prove it that it's not just you and 10 crazy people. That's what Sega needs to see to take you seriously. Prove that it's not just you and Alex Hedgefox that's offended. After browsing through Twitter and Reddit, I'm already seeing this happen. Archie fans are being ridiculed, harassed because of people like you, and practically forced into exile. You are being forced into exile for good reasons. Because their characters are no longer relevant. No, because you're a butthurt child about it. How fucking insensitive and tone deaf do you have to be to fans who were around since the beginning? I can't help it that you're old, Richard. I can't help it. And have never received recognition from how IDW fans are. They got everything they wanted in the span of 2 years. While Archie fans, who again have been around for 25 years, not exactly that amount of time, have got nothing. And he slowly spelled out nothing because that's how angry he is. So, don't you dare tell us to chill out, Richard Kuta, and let IDW have their time. Yeah, you definitely didn't have a comic book that ran for decades. You definitely didn't have a cartoon show that ran for a couple years. Where's the IDW cartoon show? Are you saying Gamer Guides thing counts? Because they didn't get a fucking cartoon show. They didn't get fucking playing cards. They didn't get all the other shit that fucking SatAM got. Fuck off, Kuta. We suffered through over 2 decades of being hated on with 0 representation in official Sega media. That is a fucking lie. This fucking SatAM shit was all over the official Sega media. There were official Sonic fucking novels being written with the Archie cast. There were comics with the Archie cast. There were fucking cartoon shows, merchandise. Where were you, Kuta? Yeah, there weren't fucking figures and plushies, unless you were in Australia. But what metric are we weighing this on? So yes, our aggression is well justified, and if IDW fans are constantly show their disrespect and kick us while we're down, no, just kick you, then fuck the hell right off. A very mature way of seeing this, Kuta. We older fans have suffered through enough shit like this to where we're battered and exhausted from it. So congrats, IDW fans, you won. The Sally haters won. He is a defeated man. He has punished Kuta. Sega of Japan won. Yes, because they're the ones who own the franchise. And if you ever try to give a straw man arguments on why IDW is more deserving of the silver platter treatment, then be prepared for the unexpected. What's gonna happen? Are you gonna shoot up a school? Because we are not in the mood right now. You represent the whole fandom in your own head. But then again, you actually do kind of represent the whole fandom because there's not even 100,000 of you. We've given this franchise so many chances, but apparently, those who made Sonic famous from its early days, from watching SatAM, reading the Archie comics well into the 2010s, don't matter anymore. Sega has confirmed their feelings toward Western Sonic, and it's unfortunate that they steamroll us like this. Go ahead and enjoy your generic little OCs. Same thing could be said with fucking Sally Acorn. The same thing could be said with a lot of Archie characters. You want me to fucking look at the Knuckles family tree? You want me to see how many original characters are in there? You want me to look at Tails' family? You want me to look at any of the fucking characters in Archie that look unoriginal? Don't get me started on that. Don't fucking call the IDW cast unoriginal. Because Archie was unoriginal first. Like, dear God. Fucking hypocrite. That's one of the reasons why I don't like Richard Kuta. It's because he's such a fucking hypocrite. From your lazy, streamlined comic. I want to know the definition of that. We Archie/SatAM fans will continue to support the real freedom fighters. Because we grew up with better characters and structured stories. I'll give you that. I like the Archie stories more than I do the current stuff. But that has more to do with Ian Flynn and less to do with the characters. It's an end of an era, but not a satisfying one. Published June 28th, 2020. And that was Richard Kuta's crazy rant on Tangle and Whisper. What did you guys think of it? I think that it was an amazing read. I love hearing Richard Kuta go on an insane rant about fictional characters in a fictional franchise and being upset because his branch of the Sonic fandom died, even though that was the result of the creators behind it, and that was the result of a lack of demand for these characters. So the reality of it is that Sega is moving on. Sega wants new characters. Sega wants a new take at the comic books. And his stuff has been moved on from. This has already happened with the Fleetway fans who had to watch all their characters go away. This happened with the manga fans who had to watch their characters go away. This has happened with the French fans who got one story and then had to watch their characters go away. Same thing could be said with the other Sonic cartoons like Underground and Adventures of. So I say get over it. The Archie fandom is dead. If you want to read something, go read the fan comics that exist. There's 2 really good ones out there. So you know what to do. Read Archie online. Read Sonic Archie Retold. Go find something else because Sega's not interested. And I don't think anyone else is either. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing a Sonic discussion. Today's Sonic discussion, we are looking over the Rally for Sally Misdebunked page. This was posted by the official Rally for Sally Twitter account, and I'm really eager to read up about it because I've been very critical of Rally for Sally. So hopefully this debunk thread will win me over and it won't be cringy as fuck. Okay, so the first question, asked hypothetically by presumably a straw man, is, you guys are fighting a losing battle because Sega doesn't own the rights to Sally or the SatAM/Archie material. Ken Pender/Archie/Deke owns them. Actually, Sega owns the Freedom Fighters, especially Sally Acorn, as her earliest known creation date is June 24th, 1991, listed in the second draft of the International Development Documents created by Sega of America, called the Sonic Bible. Now, it should be known that that version of Sally Acorn is nothing like the version of Sally Acorn they want to use. The version of Sally Acorn they're talking about was actually a localization for the creature known as Ricky, who is actually closer to a squirrel rather than a chipmunk. This is relevant because that version of Sally Acorn was used in the Fleetway comics. So that would open up the debate of, is it the same Sally Acorn? Is it just another character named Sally Acorn? Is it the Sally Acorn they're trying to use? Who is Sally Acorn? That what would be brought up from there. Because if you look at the Sally Acorn mentioned then, it looks nothing like the Sally Acorn from SatAM, nothing like the Sally Acorn from Archie. I'd say it's debatable if that counts. In fact, the other media and publications that use Sally character do not credit any outside source for any of these characters. This includes Sega World Australia, Sonic in Sydney, Sega Technical Institution, Sonic Spinball, Troll Communications, several novels, Golden Books, several picture books, Archie comics, etc. An entry in the US Copyright Office further proves this. So yes, that is true. I've said this before. Sega does own all of the Freedom Fighters. Not because of the outdated Sonic Bible names. I'm talking about because they actually copyrighted everything for the cartoon show. So Sega of America owns any characters that appeared in SatAM, 100%. They had these names already copyrighted. They already had all these names trademarked because they were planning on using them in other media. That's why they licensed them out to the Archie comics. That's why they licensed them out to the novels, the kids books. That's why they did that. So it's kind of right here, but I don't like that they keep referencing the Sonic Bible, seeing how that is basically a completely different character. Number 2. Oh, I see what's going on. You're trying to get all the Freedom Fighters into the mainline games, right? And that straw man is me. That is a quote that I said. And to give you more clarification on why I said that is because the 2 people in charge of Rally for Sally, or 2 of the head people in charge of Rally for Sally, is Richard Kuta, which I don't know his real involvement because like everyone hides Richard Kuta because he's some type of monster that must not be named, but he's involved.
and Alex Hedgefox. Alex Hedgefox and Richard Kuta do not want to just stop with getting the Freedom Fighters into 1 or 2 games on the mobile devices. No, they have been fighting for years, and if you go on their Twitters, if Richard Kuta still has a Twitter, he has one under a different name, but if you can find his Twitter, you can find that Richard Kuta and Alex Hedgefox has been autistically fighting for years, trying to get these characters into the real games, trying to get these characters back into the comic books. They were part of Save Archie, which was a stupid thing where it was like they were trying, well, Save the Freedom Fighters, Save Archie, whatever you want to call it, where they were trying to get the Freedom Fighters into the IDW comics. He accused Tangle of being a ripoff of Sally Acorn. It's some crazy shit. Just look up who Alex Hedgefox is and who Richard Kuta is, and you would know that they have greater intentions for this. Now, am I saying everyone associated with Rally for Sally is trying to do this? No. Kojiro is also one of the head people involved in the Rally for Sally movement, and I know Kojiro is a rational person who is not trying to autistically fight in the name of Sally Acorn. He would be fine with her just getting into Sonic Speed Battle and Sonic Dash, or Sonic Forces, whatever they call it now. He would be fine with that, but not Kuta and Alex Hedgefox. Don't believe them. I don't believe them. I don't trust those two. No, this campaign has only been about Sally getting into the mobile games, Sonic Dash and Sonic Forces Speed Battle. Besides, if Tangle and Whisper can get in with IDW Sonic only existing for about 3 years, and Sonic movie OVA can be referenced through the hat on Treasure Hunting Knuckles, even the OVA hasn't been relevant in so many years, then why can't Princess Sally join in and represent the SatAM/Archie crowd? Also, we're only focusing on Sally because it could be argued that she is in fact the face of the Knothole Freedom Fighters and the Archie/SatAM community, and the fact that Richard Kuta has a fetish for her and literally wants to fuck her. That, and it's one less character than what IDW fans have received, so we don't come off as too demanding. Now, when it comes to OVA Knuckles being represented with that hat has appeared in the comic books too. That hat has been referenced throughout Knuckles' creation multiple times in multiple different continuities. It did start off with the OVA, but I wouldn't necessarily say that that makes that OVA Knuckles. It's just the Knuckles we know, but with a hat. So I don't really know if that would count. I think you have a stronger connection with movie Sonic or the IDW characters getting in. I think that's the better connection, but whatever. I guess you needed to prove that the Freedom Fighters aren't too old to get in. But what I'm going to say is, are the Freedom Fighters relevant anymore? It's really hard to read the Archie comics, because unless you're buying them secondhand, like, how are you getting exposed to this media? I don't know. I think it's just a little bit iffy, because, like, that's not OVA Knuckles. It's not being like an OVA event. It's just the hat. So I don't know. I think that's a bit iffy. But I see where you're coming from. Number 3, Sega considers Sally Acorn and the Freedom Fighters to be retired. Why do you think they haven't been seen since the cancellation of Archie in 2017? Well, they used to consider Mighty and Ray to be retired, but look at Sonic Mania Plus. Big the Cat was almost retired and phased out of the franchise until Aaron Weber salvaged him using clever marketing on the Sonic social media pages. Besides, they initially planned to kill off Shadow in Sonic Adventure 2, but the fan demand to bring him back was so astronomical that he was revived in Sonic Heroes and became a core part of Sonic's group ever since. Nothing is ever set in stone with Sega, cause things are always subject to change, especially at the last minute. I mean, I can see where you're coming from there, but at least with Mighty and Ray, they had been in games since the beginning. Like, Ray and Mighty started out in Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, Mighty appeared in Knuckles Chaotix, so at least he's a game character. Shadow appeared in Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure 2, so at least he's a game character. Big the Cat appeared in Sonic Adventure, so at least he's a game character. And I know what you're saying, Sonic Spinball, but Sonic Spinball is not a canonical game. Sonic Spinball is a cartoon tie-in. That's like saying Scratch and Grounder should be in the mainline games because Scratch and Grounder appeared in Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That's ridiculous. useless. I don't think that that should count. I can see the plus of bringing Sally Acorn in, but I can also see a lot of the minuses of bringing Sally Acorn in as well. So I don't think that's a fair comparison. I think that, like, Sally Acorn is a completely different beast. Not to mention the Sally Acorn that appeared in Sonic Spinball was the pink Sally Acorn with black hair from the fucking beta shit. So that's not even the current version of Sally Acorn. I don't think you'd want them to use that Sally Acorn, would you? Number 4. Come on, be honest. You just want Sally Acorn to replace Amy Rose for decades worth of division and shipping wars they caused since Sally Acorn was around first. I don't know who fucking said that one. Maybe fucking Dumbsville? I have no fucking clue. I don't know who's making that an argument about Rally for Sally, but whatever. Not at all. While we can't speak for all the fans of Sally, we merely wish for her to coexist with the rest of Sonic's menagerie of freedom-fighting friends. I thought it was just to get her into a mobile game where she wouldn't have to coexist because she's non-canon, like the owl bitch from the Sonic movie, or OVA Knuckles like you said, or Tangle and Whisper. They don't have a plot line in that game, so I don't know what you're trying to get at there. She does predate Amy, Knuckles, and all the classic cast, and was always intended to be implemented in the games in such titles such as Sonic 16, which was not supposed to be a canon Sonic game. It was also supposed to be a cartoon game. Sonic Mars, aka Sonic Extreme, which most of the storylines for Sonic Mars or Sonic Extreme were actually fake and were sent out to the press just to give them something to talk about. And in fact, she probably would have just been replaced with Tiara Bobowski, which was basically Sally Acorn anyway. But whatever, if you want to count that, you can. That were unfortunately cancelled. So no, we don't want her to replace anyone. Plus, canonically, Amy and Sally are friends, which is true. Which is why I don't get why so many people hate Sally Acorn, because they actually are friends in the comics, and Sally is seen as like just a younger friend who has a crush on Sonic, but it's always implied that she'll get over it and that Sonic and Sally were always meant to be a thing. So yeah, that was everything in the Sonic Rally for Sally misdebunked page. I can see where they're coming from with all these, but yet again, I can also see the downside to this shit. The reality of it is, I feel like they were trying to debunk the straw man arguments of this shit rather than addressing the real concerns like Richard Kuta being involved, Alex Hedgefox being a main person, the harassment of people on Sega live streams and Sega social media accounts trying to get this to trend, like spamming the live chats of live streams from Sega and Sonic. Like, they didn't address any of that shit. They didn't address any of the negative shit that people actually care about, mainly involving the people who founded this movement to begin with, and the fact that they've been trying to get the freedom fighters into the games for years, trying to get the freedom fighters into the IDW comics for years, and that this is probably just a one big one-upsmanship just so they can say that they did it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I think that this was an interesting discussion. They didn't win me over, but maybe they won you guys over. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are doing a follow-up Sonic discussion, and what we are going to be talking about is both Rally for Sally and Richard Kuta. Yesterday when I did my Rally for Sally video, I said that Richard Kuta was involved in the movement. Well, Richard Kuta said that he wasn't involved in the movement, and that made people think that I was wrong, or that I was a liar. So I ended up doing some investigating, and I made a thread about it, so let's read this thread. If you didn't like the Rally for Sally movement before, this isn't gonna help. Turns out I was right about Richard Kuta being involved in the movement. He has been hiding undercover as the username Reverb Passion, which let me show you his Twitter. This is Reverb Passion right here. If you see this man with the chicken profile picture, that is him. Ironically enough, because the movement I started up to make fun of his movement was Lucky for Cucky, and he also has a chicken, so that's pretty funny. Both Alex Hedgefox and Kojiro knew this, yet kept it to themselves. And yes, that is true. They hid this fact that Richard Kuta was working with them. It started when Richard Kuta went into my comment section pretending that he wasn't involved, saying that I needed to get my facts straight about Rally for Sally. I asked Kojiro, thinking I could trust him, and he said that Kuta wasn't involved. And this is yet again a tried and true thing with me. I keep trusting people, and then they keep fucking lying to me. Jaden, fucking this guy, so many people I think I can trust will openly lie right to my face and think that it's nothing. They'll lie to protect their little twins, and it's really gay, and I hate it. It is really lame that I can't trust people. I had a hunch that Kuta was posing as a Rally for Sally member. I had been keeping my eyes on for a couple months, so I went to Kiwi Farms, found photos of Kuta's house, and compared them to this guy's house, and bingo, it's him. This is the wall of Reverb Passion's house, and you can see that it has this photo of people standing in front of trees. I don't know these bands, so don't get on to me saying that I'm uncultured. You can see the bottom of that yellow poster right there, and then you can see a Beck poster. Look at the same posters on Richard Kuta's wall, and we can see that the bottom of the Gorillaz poster is right here, which I guess that was a Gorillaz poster. Couldn't tell, but that's what it is. We see the people standing in front of the tree, and then we see the Beck poster. The wall is the same fucking color. The posters are a little rearranged, but they're almost the exact same fucking posters. Richard Kuta is a lolcow, so I didn't expect him to change up his house any. And he proved me right. He didn't change up his house at all. Same posters on the wall, just a couple new additions. So not only is Richard Kuta involved in Rally for Sally, he also has the other founding members lying about him to cover up his involvement. And that is true. I reached out to Kojiro, and he said that Richard Kuta wasn't involved. And he tried to play it off like the Trent Dalton guy wasn't him, that he never heard his voice, lying right to my face. I'm telling you guys, anything Archie, Sonic, or SatAM related, Richard Kuta is involved in it. We know that he hides under different usernames now, and I can 100% confirm that he's been working with Team Season 3, which is the animated project to bring back SatAM, and Rally for Sally. Who knows, he might even be on Sonic Online, seeing that he knows and is friends with Kojiro, who works for Archie Sonic Online. It wouldn't even shock me. In case you guys don't know who this is Richard Kuta. If you want to be in a movement co-led by this guy, go ahead. I'm staying far away from it because Richard Kuta is a grown man who runs around dressed as Sally Acorn, runs around dressed as babies, fucking runs around with My Little Pony shit. He fucking wears diapers and possibly shits in them. I can almost guarantee you he shits in them. He's a grown man child and a well-known internet lolcow. He will do gay ops. He will fucking raid chats. He will do a bunch of gay shit and he'll get you involved in it. If you want to be mixed up in Richard Kuta shenanigans, then Rally for Sally is for you. But if you don't like Richard Kuta, and you don't like the shit that he does, and you don't want to become a lolcow like him, it's best to stay away from Rally for Sally. Maybe I'll be wrong, and the Rally for Sally people will say, hey, we kicked out Kuta, we don't want anything to do with him, he's an idiot. But even if they did do that, they would still be associated with Alex Hedgefox, who isn't much better. So yeah, Rally for Sally is being led by fucking lolcows. It has one of the most infamous Sonic lolcows in the entire fandom as one of its co-leaders. If you want to stay teamed up with Rally for Sally, if you want to keep retweeting this, go ahead. I'm not doing it anymore. Richard Kuta is involved. People are lying to cover it up. If they're willing to lie about that, what else will they lie about?
Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are going to be talking about the Rally for Sally Civil War. This episode 1 is going to be structured around Richard Kuta and how he got removed from Rally for Sally. So, let's get into this today on DHT. We start all of this off with AWF investigating what's been going on with Richard Kuta, who was an active member in Rally for Sally. He was threatening to expose Richard Kuta and to continue trying to expose Richard Kuta, and that made people in Rally for Sally nervous because they didn't want someone constantly calling them out. So then Rich Monk is Richard Kuta, by the way. So then Richard Kuta ended up reaching out to Kojiro and said, so basically AWF will back off since he's aware that I'll come clean on New Year's. Kojiro responds, eventually. He will still probably have some fun, but it will die down. So basically keep ignoring him. It will do a lot better than what he's doing right now. And then we see a message between Kojiro and Alex, and Kojiro says, well, that's a hardball question. Best answer for that one is to answer honestly, though I already spoke to her a couple hours ago. I don't know the context to that. Alex said, just ignore AWF at this point. Kojiro says, I'm talking to Richard about it. Then he says, it's been dealt with Richard's permission. Alex says, cool, thank God, but for now on, just ignore AWF. Kojiro responds, it will depend on the situation. This was a direct action and required some sort of response. Not responding would make us look bad, and not saying the truth after all the evidence. I don't know why he spells the like that. He always fucking does it. I'm just reading it as the. Out there, piling up, would make us look bad too. The best answer, it's best, I don't know why he put the number 2, but in case you guys didn't know, like for my last 2 videos, Richard Kuta was pretending to be someone in Rally for Sally, that being a chicken man named Trent, and that's what they want him to admit to, that he is Trent, and that he's been pretending to not be Richard Kuta for months on end. Alex says, wait until New Year's, sticks to the plan, and then Kojiro responds with, already responded with that. AWF ends up commenting on Twitter saying, let's find out. Kojiro responds with, hey, you will have your answer on New Year's, don't mind waiting that long. So, what had happened is, Richard Kuta had a lot of shit on him. Richard Kuta has done a lot of shit. Richard Kuta was pretending to be a different person in Rally for Sally. Richard Kuta made a deal to come out with everything and tell the truth, and then this would all go away, and people would leave him alone. So let's see what happened after he was supposed to come out with the truth. The answer is Richard Kuta made a really long twit longer where he not only admits to being Trent, but he also admits to a bunch of other stuff. That being that he made most of the stuff for Rally for Sally, paid for the fucking people who did voice acting, that being the actual Sonic actors who promoted Rally for Sally. All those promotions were false. They were paid to do them. And he paid for everything. That's what he's saying. He paid for 90% of everything. And one day I will read all of that. Not today. Just know that he made a post where he took credit for a lot of shit in Rally for Sally, and it really made them look bad. That's all you need to know right now. So shortly after that, the Rally for Sally Twitter tweeted out, hey guys, Kojiro speaking. I was gonna give up on the campaign and drop it, but we have a good thing going, and I don't want to see it end over one thing. I talked to Richard and convinced him to leave the campaign. I personally changed the password. It's just me and Alex now. We're gonna go into low power mode while we reorganize. Richard contributed a lot. This is true, but he will maintain credit on the videos and graphics he made for us, but we're letting him go. I know it will take time to rebuild trust, but it's for the best. This is for the princess. So as you can see in that post, they announced that Richard Kuta was gone. Right after the twit longer happened, they kicked him out immediately. Kojiro went on the Rally for Sally account and decided this by himself. He decided that despite him not being the leader of the group, despite him not being appointed to be able to do such things, he decided to kick out Richard Kuta because Kuta attacked him and the Rally for Sally movement. I personally changed the password. It's just me and Alex now, and everyone on the block list will be unblocked. Gonna try to start over fresh. Accountability is key here, and that's a really good idea. I don't know why Rally for Sally had so many fucking people blocked, but it's probably for the best that they're unblocked, because this is just a fucking kids game account. I don't know why it was blocking so many people. If you have any suggestions on how we can rebuild, then let us both know. But January will be a slow month while we deal with reorganizing. Breezy comments, I don't know anything about the explosion. I'm sorry to hear that you lost people's trust. I just want to say that you still have my trust and support. Thank you so much, Breezy. If you want to know more, I'm sure one of the followers will update you. I'm updating her right now. And then Ben, which I didn't get all of his shit, sorry, I guess I missed some of your stuff, but Ben commented, honestly, Kojiro, I'm gonna be blunt with you. You're gonna have a lot of trust to earn that was lost because of this, and even there's likely a lot that will not give you said trust again. Both you and Alex were not only lying about Trent/Richard's involvement in all this, and I don't know what else was said there, but he's right. Covering up for Richard Kuta was a massive fucking mistake. Playing along with his stupid little games was a massive mistake. Hiding his involvement was a massive mistake, and a lot of people shouldn't trust Rally for Sally because of this. They're all liars. They're all fucking weirdos. That's just the truth of it. Now let's cut to the conversation Kojiro had with Richard Kuta. Richard Kuta says, dude, you know I did more than 50% of the rally for Sally. Come on. The rally for Sally. And Kojiro responds with, no, it's not the work bit. It's the other stuff that I've been doing on Twitter. Dealing with people who weren't sure about the movement. A lot of hands-on stuff. And Richard responds with, but I did contribute 90% because that fucking matters. I was the only one retweeting art on a daily basis. A lot of the time creepier art, and it's the same art you already tweet on your Richard account, so you're not really contributing anything here, but whatever. Kojiro responds with, yeah, I know. Richard says, this completely undermines what I actually did. But why did you say 50% if you know that wasn't true? Because that's what I felt like. But it's not true. You retweeted stuff. I did a lot of the communication with people behind the scenes and in public. I just don't bring up what I do. Oh yeah, sure. Okay, but in terms of the account, I did 90%. Let's not kid ourselves. Is this really what we're doing? Measuring our dicks, seeing who did a slightly higher percentage? Fuck off. The whole point of the post was to be upfront and honest about everything. Yes, you were. The majority worker on the Twitter account, and the artwork, and the editing, the VA videos, and paying them. Yes, Richard Kuta dumped a lot of money into this apparently, but you kinda hurled me under the bus here. Kojiro responds with, I don't think so. Richard responds with, cause you saying 50% makes me look like a liar when I was being fully honest in that post. True and honest. It's why it took weeks to write up. It took you weeks to write up that shit post? Dear God, I'm gonna have to take extra special care when I finally read that shit aloud. I spent every day for 6 months maintaining it. Maybe you can clarify that at least. You took care of the account. You bought VAs, and you did some editing, and you worked on some art. That sounds like a lot of shit you're slowly building up. And you made charts. I managed people on the Twitter who had many questions about anything related to the movement, since no one wanted to talk to Trent or Alex. I don't know what the fuck that is. He misspelled it to hell. People to come to the account and explaining to many people one by one. It's a lot of work. Drummed up extra support. Wait, nobody wanted to talk to Alex even? People don't like Alex Hedgefox, the fucking guy who spams fucking chats? The guy who raids servers? What a shock. I can't believe this. No one wants to talk to Alex Hedgefox, who has everyone fucking blocked on Twitter? What a shock. What a fucking shock. Kojiro says no. Even though it's his campaign? Because apparently people care about it being Alex's campaign instead of it being about Sally Acorn. I guess I didn't know that. His image was better off, but not enough people want to talk to him. As well as his main account being forever protected due to Dylan fears, which in case you didn't know, Alex actually locked his account because he was afraid of me making a video on him. Part 2 is going to be on him, so apparently locking his account achieved nothing. The only reason why people were listening to the movement to begin with was because I was using my credit to get people to come and pay attention to Alex, which is true. I got into Rally for Sally because of Kojiro. The second I found out that Alex Hedgefox and Richard Kuta were involved doing stupid gay shit in the background, that's when I left. You can go and check my older videos. I made that obvious. So Kojiro is right. I only even barely humored Rally for Sally because of him. Richard says, holy shit. So he never really had the status even to carry this all? No. Alex doesn't have the status. Why do you think we started this on my account? I mentioned this a few times in private chat. Even in the Doey encounter, which I don't know what that is, where I said I can, and it's all lowercase i's and it makes me want to hurt myself, just take the campaign and leave everyone if I wanted to. Richard says, yes, I do recall you saying that, which if he says that, no one should trust him. Why do you guys fucking trust Kojiro if he's gonna say shit like that? I thought the Rally for Sally campaign would be fine after you revealed yourself, but your twitlonger kinda drove it into the ground. I wasn't expecting that kind of post. You should have been. Richard Kuta is an actual fucking lol cow. well. You should have expected that. That is the most probable outcome in this situation. Richard Kuta being Richard Kuta. I was hinting about it for months, dude. It was me revealing myself, explaining my task, and calling out all those assholes because they started this shit months ago. You started this shit months ago. No one would have even fucking cared, but instead you had to hide in the background, lie to people, get your friends to lie to people, and then do such a shit job of actually being hidden that people could find out that you were Trent with just a little bit of Google searching. What a fucking idiot. Well, yeah, because I'm fucking done with drama. What a fucking liar. It was me saying my piece so I could move on to what I want to do, even if I do continue Rally for Sally, because I'm not gonna give in to the cancel culture. If it's cancel culture, it sure did take 10 years to activate for you. I'm stronger than that. Oh yeah, I'm sure your Pampers are. My friends agree that I've done nothing wrong to garner such hate like this. I think you deserve all the hate. The current positives outweigh the past negatives. That is a fucking lie. But people will look at you with more malice when you hold it over their head like that. That is true. Doing something nice for the community thing really sets people off, which is true because it just set me off. And recently, this community has been flooded with fake fans. Oh god. And I guess you're one of the true Sonic fans and SJWs who don't even care about Sonic. If they did, they wouldn't pin an entire campaign on one person. So because they don't like you, Rich Monk, or Alex Hedgefox, or SJWs, this is my problem with you two fucking idiots. Just because people don't like you doesn't mean they're an SJW, fucking moron. A campaign isn't represented by anyone. That is not how campaigns work, you fucking idiot. This bullshit shouldn't even matter because the movements are for everyone. That is a lie. Again, this fan base is so goddamn retarded. I don't think you're allowed to call people retarded, and self-destructive. I don't think you're allowed to point out self-destruction. That they don't even a good thing when it's happening. I don't know what sentence that was. I wasted 6 months of my fucking life on this campaign, and this is not the gratitude I deserve. Eat shit, Richard. Eat shit. I know you probably like eating shit because you're a gross fucking vermin, but eat shit. Cut your losses and move on, Kojiro responds. I might as well, or at least wait till this shitstorm dies down, because Alex still wants to keep Rally for Sally active, so Richard is making it obvious, no matter what, if him and Alex are involved in the movement, he will still be there. If Alex is in the movement at all, Richard Kuta will still be in the background. Remember that. Remember that, because if they try to fucking leave Alex in the group, Richard Kuta's in the background. Don't let these people lie to you. I didn't want to blow up at you. Not like this. Not on New Year's. I'm literally just upset that nobody is supporting me after everything I've done for you guys. I feel betrayed. So Richard Kuta fucks him over and claims that he's done 90% of the work, and then he wants people to praise him. What an idiot. Because there's no supporting that explosion of a twit longer. You're right. 100% right on that. What's done is done. It's New Year's. I want to move on from my past. It's not the past if it literally happened that day, you mongoloid. How do you expect people to move on when you're still actively doing the same shitty stuff? Good. Just keep going and don't look back. If I want to support Sonic, I'll do it for myself and no one else. That always seems to be the issue. You're not gonna stick to that. The post closes the book on the whole thing once and for all. He deleted the post, by the way. I have an archive. I said my piece and I'm not responding. I'm walking away. You're a liar. Okay. Okay, I think it's best for the movement if we let you go. Seems like it might be the best for everyone. So he told him that he's gonna let him go because someone is still shit-talking him on Twitter. No, we didn't do anything wrong. We're not gonna let these people force us out. It's what SJWs do, Richard Kuta, pleading to stay in by saying if you want him out, you're an SJW or you support SJWs. Rich, a lot of these people aren't SJWs, but they're unforgiving assholes that won't let people change. You're not changing. That's their problem, not ours. Rich, they mostly will never forgive you for some reason, just you. I don't think you should work on this is they don't want to give you the credit. I think he meant if. Even if we continue the movement, wow, his spelling is terrible, as it is now. They will never let you change. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. It's best for you to get away from this fandom. It will wreck your mind if you don't. His mind is already fucking wrecked when he was crying with a Sonic plushie about the fucking eye color of Sonic the Hedgehog. I can't give you your time back, but I can at least refund some of the cash. Well, that's nice of him. You spent on it when the time comes, but I don't want you to fall down this hole. Well, at least he's willing to give back the money. Thanks, man. I think if you at least credit me for the posters and videos and paying the VAs, I'd feel more comfortable leaving, because at least I'd get proper credit and closure. You always have the credit for doing those. Right, the public needs to know that. They need to know my name, me, I'm Rally for Sally. That's what Richard is saying. I'll let the public know. Thanks. But there will be some rearranging needed. Understood. But you have to sign out of the Rally for Sally account. And then this is where Richard, despite saying he would leave, shows that he had no intention of leaving and that he's a liar. What? I can't even retweet artwork anymore? No, people don't want you doing any of that at all, because they will just hate the retweets. But how will they know it's me? Because you tweet in a specific way that me and Alex don't do, which is true. I always know a Richard Kuta tweet over these two tweets. If I come out and say we had to let Rich go, but you are still on the account, then it will be another lie, which is true. So let me get this straight. You're kicking me out of a campaign that wouldn't exist today without me? So he said that he was fine with them kicking him out. He just wanted credit. But now since he's getting kicked out of the account, he's just now realizing that they're kicking him out. What a fucking idiot. If you want to look at it that way, yeah, I do see it in that way. If you stay, people will never let you let Sally succeed. And there was no comma there, by the way. But I've done nothing wrong. This is bullshit. Richard Kuta, you've done a lot of things wrong. This is not bullshit. You've done nothing wrong for the campaign, except that the fandom at large just hates you so much that it's dragging down the campaign, which is true. Then how about this? Due to the unnecessary backlash, I've decided to resign. Since I've contributed so much, I'm ready to move on. The campaign has already reached Sega's international offices, so it's up to Sega at this point. And if the Rally for Sally movement stops because of that reason, Sega will never add in Sally. But this continued campaign is probably their best chance of getting Sally in anything, and the fact that Richard just wants to abandon it because my credit, my accessibility, just shows how much he actually cares. Okay, there, I quit, but let me make the post. You did good work for the rest of us. I just want to still let you know that the fact that people run a lot of these feel. And I'm quitting, so Sally has a chance still? Yes, consider it a hero sacrifice. He's not a hero and you're manipulating him. Go fuck yourself, Kojiro. Well, if it would give me more free time to focus on other stuff, yep, but promise me this. Please let people know what I did exactly. I've been nothing but a positive and helpful person for the campaign, from the money I spent to the videos I made and the VAs I paid. That's easy to tell people. Exactly. This is still bullshit. We shouldn't be caving into these people. There's just no way for Sally. So he's fucking manipulating Kuta with his love for Sally. What a fucking monster. At least you are going on best possible terms, unlike your other people you worked with. Not backstabbing, none of that, I suppose. But this is still unfair, because this was company job. I'd sue their asses because I've done nothing wrong. So Richard Kuta threatening him right after saying he would quit. I know, but this isn't a company thing. We do use company tactics, but this is also politics at its heart. So apparently he did get permission to post that tweet. So after they have that big long talk about him peacefully leaving and about how he was okay with leaving and how they actually came to terms with everything, Richard Kuta still goes on to shit talk in another chat with other people involved with Rally for Sally, showing that you can't trust Richard Kuta at all. What the fuck is Kojiro doing? And as you can see, he retweeted the post that Kojiro made and told Richard Kuta that he made. So Richard Kuta apparently is going to act like he's ignorant to this. And he responds with, so yeah, I quit. And then this guy who has a name that I'm not even going to try to read, I'm going to call him Furry Boy, because furry wolf boy, actually, because he has a furry wolf as his fucking character. The fuck? Did you talk to Kojiro about that rich monk? Yeah, he forced me out, because apparently I'm a danger to the campaign, even though he knows I did nothing wrong. Then why did you say what the fuck is Kojiro doing? I didn't think he'd do it this quickly, since he needed to think about it, but apparently he knew exactly what he wanted to do. You saw him post it, you're a fucking liar. Did either you talk to Alex about this at all? No, Kojiro said he didn't care about Alex, since he meant nothing since the beginning due to his reputation. That is not what Kojiro said at all. You're completely manipulating what he said. We should both feel hurt. And repeated his line about how I can take the campaign with me without you guys, cause at least my reputation isn't damaged. Well, he is telling the truth though, and he is gonna do that later. We can see Kojiro hits up Alex to talk to him about the whole Richard Kuta stuff. He says, okay Alex, I convinced Richard to leave the account. When you get the chance, change the password to Rally for Sally. We're gonna fucking rebuild this campaign. Then Alex responds with, Kojiro, why? I just woke up to this shit. I'm confused and concerned. Kojiro responds, it had to be done after that twit longer Rich put up. That thing was indefensible, and defending it in any way would completely shred all the campaign, as well as yours and mine reputation. And good morning. And to me, Kojiro, your reputation is already destroyed. Nothing can make it any worse. We need to have a serious talk later. Maybe not today, but definitely within the next week. You and me. Koji, I want to shut it down. I want to shut Rally for Sally down. So Alex Hedgefox says he wants Rally for Sally to die. He no longer cares about the movement. He no longer cares about this project. He wants it shut down. This perfectly represents what's going on right now. And I'll even read it for you. I'll read this for you so you can have the experience. I never in all of my life did I think I would be so happy to see none other than Alex Hedgefox. Our princess is saved. Alex pulls out a knife. I want Rally for Sally to shut down. Eh? What is this? What does Alex think he's doing? I want to leave the movement, he says as he starts cutting the rope. Sally looks up, realizing she'll never get in a Sega game, realizing that she was just being used by Alex and Richard Kuta, and falls to her death, and the movement is shut down. People don't want us to shut down Rally for Sally. They just want Richard Kuta gone. Well, I don't want this if it's gonna cause drama. I'm not deleting the accounts, but they're going dead. They're going dead? What the fuck? As in, no post. I don't want this thing I created destroying my friendship with Richard Kuta. Kuta should stay in no matter what he does. Let him post Sally porn on the account. It's not right and it's not fair. Just let me run it then. I don't really care about the YouTube channel. That can die. So maybe I should have made a comic where Kojiro also cut the rope because he's just gonna let the YouTube account die, but whatever. But people don't want the tag to die. If you want to make your own account, then so be it. I don't want this old account around anymore. Not when there's so much drama. And that's where we're gonna leave off for now. What's gonna happen? Is Rally for Sally going to shut down? Is Alex Hedgefox going to avenge his boyfriend Richard Kuta? Will Richard Kuta be accepted back into Rally for Sally? Find out next time on Rally for Sally. Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we are re-recording the part 2 to the Rally for Sally downfall. And the reason why I've had to re-record this is I'm not quite used to this new microphone, and the audio ended up peaking all to hell, making it completely unusable to me. So I've adjusted the mic, I've moved it further back, so hopefully today's audio will be 1,000 times better. And I know now in advance how close I should be to the mic, and hopefully we can get some decent audio from this episode. So let's start where we left off with the furry guy and Rich Monk. The furry guy ends up saying, okay, can we kick out Kojiro, please? So they're immediately planning to kick him out because they don't like what he's doing, and they are the first ones to mention this. So keep that in mind. Rich Monk responds with, yeah, I'm done with him. He really is only looking out for himself, says the guy who said the campaign was started by him and did over 90% of the work. Really looking out for himself. Like, forget my issues with him.
him. If there was any random member I was group of, I don't even know if that's a sentence, these people don't know how to spell at all, and they constantly went out of their way to make decisions about the group without consulting anyone, at best, just causes problems within the group. Now, I can kind of see where he's coming from with that. The truth is that Kojiro ended up kicking out Rich Monk without confronting Alex. He kicked him out first and then asked questions later. When really, if he was a team player, he should have played along. But the fact that he even let Rich Monk into the group and let fucking Alex Hedgefox found this group already shows his failure as a teammate in the group if he was really looking out for for everyone. Richard Kuta responds, "I'm beginning to think that Koji and AWF were in bed this whole time." So everyone's out to get Richard Kuta, nothing new. Because if Kojiro told AWF when I first joined, which he didn't know until, well, AWF didn't really know until around the same time I did. I did my research, he did his research to prove that you were the chicken guy. It wasn't that hard to prove it either. It means he didn't give a shit about me at all, which he shouldn't. He really was only using me for my money and talent. I thought you said that you just wanted to help out, and I thought you said that you weren't fully, or whatever. You're a fucking hypocrite. That's what I'm saying. Fuck you and your money. Like a gullible worker. Oh no, we need the communist society to help out this gullible worker. I mean, dude, why is there so much betrayal in this fan base? It seems like every time I get involved with a Sonic project, I always get backstabbed. Sonic, Spax, and now AWF and Kojiro? Maybe it's you. Maybe if you keep getting mixed up in groups and then people have to fuck you over, maybe it's you. I'll give you that Spax did fuck you over and used you, but everyone else, I don't know about this Sonic person, it seems like you had it coming. You should have known what was gonna happen. Then the furry guy responds with, I mean, AWF was never on your side, which is true. Kojiro, TBH, I think is just an opportunistic dipshit, which that is not too wrong of a description of him. Seems right. And then Lance Jerkoff steps in, Rhodesian Raccoon. What issues did you have with him? Basically, he tried starting shit between me and AWF by sharing chat messages here with him. And then Lance responds with, was that why he shared those? That sounds like a really dumb troll attempt. His reasons was he wanted to stop the drama in the chat. I thought it was more about Richard bitching than anything. That was the actual reason. He tried to play it off, but it didn't work, so you're assuming his intent. That's the smart thing to do. Assume his intent. You can never be wrong there. Because he then tried to change his reasoning to, he's too important to the campaign, so he can do whatever he wants. Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what he said. No, it was about him leaking my messages to AWF. He left to put himself on probation, which is fucked up. Did he say it was funny? Now I'm curious. And then they leak some message from fucking Triforce Kid. I don't care about Triforce Kid. He's fucking annoying. So I'm going to go to the next set of chat logs. Now this is Alex talking with Kojiro, and right when Kojiro and Alex were talking in the last episode, Alex tried to change the password and kick Kojiro out of the account. So these people are plotting Kojiro's demise, and then Alex tries to kick him out of the account. So Kojiro changes it back. I'll tell you the full story in a second, and he responds with, well, it's my account now. Should I announce that you are dropping from it, or do you want time to think? Which is nice of him to give him the time to think, but it's still kind of fucked that he has to kick him out of his own account. And then I ended up asking Kojiro after everything went down how it went down, so he actually does clarify. Me being the asshole I am, I say, so Alex kicked you out. Boy, that's funny. Did I tell you so or what? He says, nah, I had to kick him out because he went with Rich. Yeah, you told me. You were right. I deserved that clown card, but I'm not going to let his tantrum kill what was going. I was going to let it drop after Rich came out, but people asked me to just cut him out and continue. So fuck it. If Alex wants to go with Rich and be hated again, then okay. I heard that he took the Twitter account. He tried. He changed the password, but it's registered to my phone. So I changed the password he changed. So he pulled a reverse card on
on him. Then changed the email it's registered to so he couldn't get back in. He doesn't even care that Rich was kicked out. He cares more that he lost control of Rally for Sally. And then I said, yeah, he's a bitch, because he is. Fuck him. After kicking Alex out of the account, Kojiro goes on the Rally for Sally Twitter and says, I regret saying this, but Alex Hedgefox has also been released from Rally for Sally. He decided to join Richmonk. I, Kojiro, took over the account, as it's been registered to my phone since the beginning, and he tried to lock me out and let the movement rot silently. This is a community movement. One person, even though Alex started it, isn't going to shut it down because it didn't go his way. So yeah, I'm flying alone on this account, but I'm with a lowercase I on all the IMs. Sure, the community will help out. And then the furry guy from the DMs who wanted to kick Kojiro out of the account hypocritically says, for the record, the Rally for Sally account has been stolen by one of the members of the group. We are currently looking to get it back for the time being. The account is being run by someone who shouldn't be on it. And then Kojiro responds with, yep, I can confirm that I took over the account that has been registered to my phone since its creation. Alex left out the part that we all verified it to my phone, and how Alex was trying to end the movement by locking me out first. Rally for Sally isn't going out like that. And then Alex responds to what Kojiro is saying, but I can't actually see Alex's shit because he locked his Twitter because he's afraid of me, which that's an actual reasoning. He said it before. And Kojiro responds to that by saying, I took over the account because you were going to kill it. You were going to let it rot quietly because you decided to go with Richard Kuta. People want this to work, and Rich is holding it down, which is very, very true. That's why Richard and Alex shouldn't have been involved to begin with. After everything went down, Richard Kuta and his boyfriend Alex ended up getting in a conversation. Let's read what they had to say. Richard says, hey, you around for a call? Alex says, hi. No, Kojiro stole the account away. He spirited away. Rich Monk, from you? What the fuck? He changed the email, password, and everything. I can't get in. But you didn't do anything wrong? He did it because I tried to change the password, because Lav wanted us to go a month-long break. Right, during his probation, right after the shit he pulled last week? So it's him running Rally for Sally now? Good to know everyone's hard work means fuck all. I'm fucking depressed. Boo-hoo. All I can say is that he will regret betraying us. Oh, what are you gonna do, furry boy? Us like this. Cause I was important cog in this whole thing. I'm gonna love when the movement continues after you. That's gonna be hilarious. The designer, video producer, and the one willing to pay the voice actors. I would actually say that you paying the voice actors hurt the movement because it made it look like you guys had more support than you really did. Just saying. Alex then responds with, and I was the planner / leader. Why don't you all just have a nice little circle jerk? Executive, producer, head person in charge of the oh yes. And the situation was paradoxical. Regardless how my reveal would have been, you should have just fucking done the reveal you agreed to, you fucking weasel. Positive or negative, the trolls would still attack me and post their blackmail shit. So really, I shouldn't have remained as Trent, meaning I wouldn't be able to take credit for any of my work still. I want all the credit. Me. I was fucked this entire time. I'm the victim. It's unfortunately appears that way. Oh, boo-hoo. You can both be victims together. I'm sorry it went down like this. Literally everything was out of my hands. Yeah, it's never your fault, Alex. It's never your fault. It's alright, dude. Karma will bite his ass. Without anyone frequently maintaining the account every day or making fun posts, gifs, and posters like I have, his campaign will tank. Let's see about that. You don't betray your friends or other people who busted their ass for them. Yeah, cause I'm not an asshole, you are an asshole. Or I'd like to think I'm not one, you are wrong. No, you weren't. I mean, there were disagreements, and such would have thought that one person we could trust was in bed with the trolls. You just came up with that idea all on your own, and it's not fucking true. I don't like Kojiro, and I'm not working with him. And I know AWF, he wasn't working with him until you guys tried to kick him out of the account, and was willing to take the account and go, as he said he would in the call, and kick us all out when he could. I don't know why you're offended if he told you he'd do it long before he did it. How do you think I feel? He basically ran off with my baby. My baby. I'm the father of Sally. Yeah, he fucked me over with all the laboring, work, and money I spent taking him to court. He fucked us all over. And since he hasn't really posted or retweeted anything in 2 days, means he's not really serious like I was with it. The campaign is gonna die if he doesn't keep it active. No, he has. Not much. And then Alex immediately proves his friend wrong, mostly tossing you under the bus. It's only a matter of time before he does us next. We really need to fight this somehow. I'm innocent in this. Oh, yeah, sure. In this whole thing. He's constantly lying out of his ass. Everyone lies about you, apparently. You're always the victim. Just to damage control his campaign now. Some friend. Kojiro, let me actually see her name. The Softer Cowgirl. It's a stupid name. Kojiro is then DM'd by someone named the Softer Cowgirl, which is apparently someone within Alex Hedgefox's hug box. Congrats on stealing the account. Out from under everyone. Guess you got what you wanted all along. It's Rich's fault for doing what he did, and Alex's fault for trying to shut it down against the people's wishes. Alex can come back. He did nothing wrong, but Richard can't come back. If Alex did nothing wrong, why'd you change the password and email? Because he tried to lock me out of the account first. Password was already changed so that Rick couldn't access it. What was the point in changing it again, other to swipe the account for yourself? I got in through my phone connection since it's registered to my phone. Alex changed the password saying that he wanted to shut it all down, and my phone overrides his password change, and I changed it so he can't do it again. So, you did what you always do. You decided to throw everyone under the bus and do what would benefit you the most. Alex tried to stop the movement. I only retaliated. Rich was the first in your chopping block. Now it's Alex. Oh yeah, the public executions are going on. Whatever makes you feel better. I know you have self-esteem problems. This won't fix it at all. I like this approach. I think getting in someone's head and fucking with them is funny. You think you're gonna help Alex, but you are only gonna drive him deeper into his pit of despair with how you treat him. And you won't feel good about it, and you will blame others for your failures. Alex did nothing wrong, and he can take a break and come back, but you are also another problem in the community. You know, maybe it would mean something if you weren't literally in the middle of backstabbing Alex and locking him out of his own movement. It's not just his movement, it's the community, and I'm doing it for them. Whatever you have to say, Kojiro. I'll tell you firsthand, Alex isn't very happy with being backstabbed and locked out of his movement he started. Kind of puts a wrinkle in your little plan here. And at this point, I can't pretend to give a shit. You want the account this bad? Take it. After all, you already backstabbed every single member of the team just to get your hands on it. After the cowgirl couldn't change his mind, Alex and Kojiro start talking again. I know Doey is feeding you trash, which apparently that's the same person. Doey and the cowgirl are the same, whatever. I know Doey is feeding you trash while you're in your dark place. You can always come back to the movement you started is bigger than yourself now. It's just like how she's been feeding trash AWF to agitate him enough to do things to Rich, which in turn pissed Rich off. You completely steal the account, boot Rich without consulting me, and now lock me and others out of the account just cause of your own petty selfish ego? Hypocrisy. Funny how you were talking about an ego issue in the fandom. Right now the biggest ego issue seems to be your own. Seems like a lot of people are trying to pull reverse cards here. I'm pissed. Livid even. Upset, I dare say. Hey, you changed the password on me first, I only changed it back. Yeah, after you completely screwed my boyfriend Richard Kuta without consulting any of us, including me, his boyfriend. I only did that because you forced me to. And I did what I did because you forced my hand. Oh god, this is gonna go back and forth forever. Rich did it to himself. He had to be let go. You're not a fucking saint here, Kojiro, which is true. No, you do not make that decision, especially not on your own. He did, and you didn't stop him. Had to, you were asleep. It's called patience, you fucker. No, time was of the essence. The longer Rich was around, the deeper the movement sinks, as well as your own credibility of mine. People would have hated you for doing absolutely nothing. I had to make the decision on the spot, which is a true point, and I see where he's coming from there. I'd rather my credibility sink lower than it has than for you to pull a stunt like this. So Alex is willing to take himself down and everyone else down around him just to save his boyfriend, Richard Kuta. This is unbelievable. Just relax and sit on it for a few days. Think about it properly. When you're not so heated, remember that you make harsh choices when you're mad. You're treating me like a goddamn child. It doesn't help me be any less pissed. You either decide here while pissed off, or you try to relax and get level-headed and make better choices. You are not above this, you prick. You screwed us all over, cause you think you're better than us. Myself included. I don't know what the fuck he means by that. Us includes yourself. How? I've seen screenshots. Don't play that shit. Yeah, doughy screenshots, and then he sends the Richard Kuta screenshots that I showed. So funny. Getting shots from the person who knows how to get you riled up at the right time. You want to see Rich's talks with me? Yeah, cause I want you to say it to my face. Tell me how insignificant I am. I dare you. Do it. Oh, he's getting scary. He's getting spooky. I'm so fucking terrified. I already spoke with Richard about it, and he agreed before. I had him leave. It wasn't like I ended him on the spot. There was a discussion. You still covered it without me. I had to. If we were supposedly a team, you don't fucking do that. But of course, you don't want to be a team player. Team player, everyone backs up Richard Kuta. That's how it works. Become lolcows with Alex and Richard. That's what you want, right? It doesn't matter what you want? Oh, team player. Be a team player. Look, you can come back to it. Just Rich can't come back. It would end everything. The fact that you're holding the account hostage shows how petty you are. So you'd rather let it rot? Why would I want to come back when I'm basically a speck of dust to the almighty Kojiro? Yes, I'd rather have it be done at this point. I hate this stupid fucking conflict. I never wanted my fucking campaign to be just a toxic cesspit of drama and misery. Ooh, edgy. Especially with my friends. It's not right. This isn't what I wanted. So what you want me to do? You want me to announce that you've dropped the campaign? Learn how to spell. Or do you want to wait? No, I want you to give me my account back and let me go on the month-long hiatus that everyone agreed on. Nope, that would kill everything. That's the idea, Alex maliciously says. Nope, I'm not allowing something nice for the community to end just because things didn't go your way. That's not how movements go. It might end after this. The reputation might be so tainted that you can't fix it, but whatever. Except you pulled this shit because you weren't getting your way. No, I pulled this because Rich wasn't getting his way. The movement isn't a weapon. It was abused, and we've lost trust. It's being abused by you. We all lost trust in you, Richard Kuta included. You fucked us all. Fine. You just wanted to state your ego. Think what you want. So should I tell people you're not continuing then? No, I want you to give me my account back and take a fucking hike. That doesn't seem to be working, but keep trying it. Nope. You really are a fucking prick, you know that? I'll let you sit on it and think about it. If you haven't decided by next Saturday, then I'll let the crowd know that you are dropped from the movement. And I'll tell them the truth. What is the truth? I think the truth is already out there. But this is Richard's fault for pissing off the community so much that anyone who decides to help him is completely tainted. And if you leave under those conditions, people will think that you are just as bad. Yeah, tell it. I'll let them know you fucked us. And I kind of see where Kojiro's coming from. If you hang out with either Richard Kuta or Alex Hedgefox, you're tainting your own name and ruining your own reputation. It's best to stay away from these people. You can even have Lance make a video about it, and I'll spread it. You sharing the truth will make you and Doey and Rich look even worse. And now we're done with all that shit. It's time to move on to our final thoughts. And I think the Save Cosmo account, someone who is kind of a competitor to Rally for Sally, they want Cosmo back in the games, another obscure Sonic character, has really good final thoughts about this. Hello everyone. We're very sorry to hear about the recent downfall of Rally for Sally. Working alongside them used to be something we were very proud of. We were both working towards similar goals. The biggest lesson to learn from all this situation is honesty is important. A movement like theirs seems like a wonderful message that brings people together for a purpose. However, it becomes a problem when those behind it don't reflect the same purity. We all want you to know that from day one, honesty has been extremely important to us. Right now, there's just one person running the Save Cosmo account, which is how it should be. That's me, the Mason Gamer. We do often gather help from our Discord server, commission, etc. Our team will be represented by people with good intentions after all. That's what Cosmo would want. Hopefully Rally for Sally will recover, as the advertised goal is a good one. However, honesty is the best policy. It's recommended that it becomes theirs too. We'll keep up our fight for Cosmo. We're passionate for something. Let's make it a good thing. Thanks for reading. And I think that just completely slams Rally for Sally, slams Alex Hedgefox, and slams fucking Richard Kuta. You should be doing it for the character, for the community, not for yourself. The second you start trying to do this shit, you've lost sight of what was important. Richard Kuta wasn't Rally for Sally. Alex Hedgefox wasn't Rally for Sally. Kojiro isn't Rally for Sally. Rally for Sally should be just getting someone into the games. It shouldn't be you holding yourself up and demanding credit for making shit posts on Twitter. And now we get the best final thoughts from Rhodesian Raccoon, or Lance Jerkoff. Trying to help Richard Kuta was one of my biggest mistakes. The dude is literally a bratty child in a man's body. I thought he was going to change, but he did the exact same shit he did last year, and 10 years before that. Moral of the story, avoid Richard Kuta. His name is literally Dick. Same goes for Alex Hedgefox. And that was everything in the Rally for Sally downfall part 2. Will Rally for Sally be saved? Will the movement continue the rot? Who knows? Hey guys, Dylan here, and today we have a very interesting video in store. It is Richard Kuta's battle against autism. Now, if you heard that aloud, you would think something like Christian, where he's fighting against the stigmas that are laid against people with autism. But no, Richard Kuta is not fighting against the metaphorical representation of autism. He's fighting against autism and autistic people. So let's get into this. Richard posted this on Twitter saying this is probably the most controversial topic I'll, without a fucking apostrophe, probably ever delve into, but it needs to be pointed out. He's telling you the facts you need to know. I've been a Sonic fan since 1993. I didn't join the online community till, not until, just till, 1995. From then on forward, I noticed a reoccurring theme within the fan base that becoming more prominent the more I associate with them. A large majority of these people are autistic. Now, for those of you guys who were curious about the whole Sonic and autism connection, autistic people are attracted to anthro characters, which Sonic is. Autistic people are attracted to bright colors, and Sonic is a bright blue, and all of his friends are bright colors. So just like with My Little Pony, just like with the Care Bears, autistic people are going to be attracted to Sonic. There's nothing wrong with this, it's just the reality of things, and they're also attracted to FNAF because of the same reasons. So that's why there are so many autistic people. But Richard Kuta is wondering why he keeps associating with so many autistic people. This man dresses up in diapers. This man wants to be a giant baby. This man is a brony who owns a bunch of stuffed animals and lays in a kitty bed. And he's wondering why he associates with so many autistic people. I'm not shocked. You shouldn't be shocked. No one should be shocked. No, I'm not being derogatory or slanderous, which keep that in mind for later. I'm being observational, which sounds really autistic to me. Nearly everyone I associated with, befriended, or worked with in the last few decades had this specific type of mental disorder. What a shock. The people who want to do your stupid little projects are autistic. I could have never guessed. Even my own IRL friends noticed this. I don't believe you have IRL friends. As outsiders, and they're just as curious as I am. Why is this a thing? What is it about Sonic the Hedgehog that attracts these socially inept and aggressive individuals? Now, that's not fair for you to say, because you are also socially inept. You've proven that multiple times, especially dressing like a chipmunk and running around in public. You've proven that you're aggressive with your screeching about Sonic's eye color, and you're reeing about people calling you out for stealing other people's work. You're fucking crying about losing Rally for Sally. I think that you are a hypocrite. A hypocrite when it comes to all the things that you judge autistic people for. Well, I have many theories, but one thing is certain. Every encounter I've had with these people, and his grammar is terrible when he's judging autistic people. That's pretty fucking funny. My life in some form, they're difficult to reason with. Yeah, that's part of autism, you special individual. How can you not realize that mentally handicapped people are hard to deal with? God. And his grammar is just terrible. It looks like he's saying "thairy," but it's there, because he doesn't even know. They are, that's how I'll say it, they are stubborn as fuck. They don't understand simple logic like grammar, and with a capital "and," by the way. They're emotionally disturbed. I don't think a man who dresses like a giant baby and pretends to be a baby can call anyone emotionally disturbed, to where they'll lash out over petty shit like Sonic's eye color. I'm just bringing that up for no reason, I guess. It's like that scenario of being the only intelligence among the land of idiots. Oh wow, you literally are a big brain boy, galaxy brain around the peons of the Sonic community. You truly are the smartest of them all, which makes sense, because if you're surrounded by those whose brain functions are medically compromised, you're not going to win any arguments. I love that he thinks that he's the only one who's not mentally ill, and he runs around dressed like a fucking baby or a chipmunk. If he's the only sane one, I guess we're all insane. They're gonna use irrational thought and be aggressive because it's an uncontrollable condition of theirs, him actually judging autistic people. And it seems like he has a phobia for autistic people, weirdly enough. Now, once you factor in these statistics, it becomes clear why the fan base is in shambles. Because if a high percentage of the people in the community are devoid of rational thought, which apparently he thinks that all autistic people are devoid of rational thought, very progressive of you. It explains why the fan base and the franchise has been garbage for so many years. Yes, it's autistic people's fault for Sonic Forces being a thing. It's autistic people's fault for Sega not knowing how to manage a property. You really are using that rational thinking of yours. Coupled with the SJW shills, I don't know why he's calling people SJW, and you have a toxic melting pot of chaos. I think that's what I would call your Twitter, with a capital "and" in this next sentence. And all those projects I worked on in the past were sabotaged by autistic dipshits. No, the only autistic dipshit that ruined your past projects was you. You can say that fucking Kojiro played a part in it. You can say Alex played a part in it. You can say that fucking AWF played a part in it. You could say that fucking Hoodie 1 or Spax, whatever you want to call him, played a part in your demises. But you equally played a part in your demise. You always fuck shit up yourself. You are the one who chose to associate with these people. You are the one who chose to give these people so much power. You are the one that exposed yourself, and then they just reacted to it. It's always been you. And, with a capital "and," this shit happened to me 3 times in the last 26 years I've been involved with the fan base, and I reflect upon these events that has led to my so-called infamy. I realize that I never should have interacted with these people, because every time I do, it ends up in disaster. As for that burning question of why autistic people gravitate towards Sonic, guess that's something we'll never get a clear answer on, except for I answered it because I actually looked into it, but I don't expect you to look into it. All I know is that my prejudice toward these people have grown significantly after multiple times they fucked my life over. Now, if you are autistic, fine, but understand that you will have to work extra hard to earn my trust. Yes, work extra hard to earn the trust of a man who dresses like a chipmunk. Work extra hard to be friends with someone who dresses like a giant baby and wants their diaper changed. This is the man who you have to earn his trust. I would say fuck Richard Kuta and don't associate with him at all because he's a fucking idiot. But if you want to, just know, if you're autistic, he doesn't want to be friends with you. Now, he ended up doubling down on this. He went on Twitter to cry about it. So let's read his additional thoughts on it. In addition, that autism rant that I posted on my other site was harsh. It was me venting my aggression against the people who all happen to be autistic that wronged me in the past. It's just strangely coincidental, and I can see how people were reactionary to it. I'm sorry. So he's saying he's sorry even though he isn't. Richard Kuta is never fucking sorry. He just says shit to get away with the stupid shit that he does, but whatever. Space Fox ended up saying something really rational to him, and I hope he takes it to heart because this is actually what he did. Yeah, about that. A Mexican once wronged me. Should I make a post saying that all Mexicans are bad? No, that's dumb. You can't lump everyone together because of a couple people. Your little "you have to earn my trust" thing made me laugh though, given you're standing here. No one wants your trust because you're not trustworthy. You've been caught so many times that we've become numb to the news. And that sums up Richard Kuta entirely. You can't trust him, you can't associate with him, you can't like him. Richard Kuta has decided that he will fight against autism and the autistic people of the Sonic community. Hopefully he ends up succeeding in this endeavor. If he ends up curing the Sonic community of autism, I think everyone will be better off. So just know, if you want to associate with Richard Kuta, Rich Monk, he battles against autistic people. He is actually prejudiced against the autistic people of the Sonic community. So yeah, that's another thing you can add to his little checklist of how dumb he is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. And if you want to see more, then subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and bye.